and now I'm going to move into like my knitting and crocheting projects. This first one, I don't remember what time of the year I made it, but I actually started it in like 2014. So it was supposed to be just like a triangular shawl, but I finished it last year and it did not come out right. It was like the only time I've ever tried following a knitting pattern, and I must not have followed it right because it did not come out correctly. So I was like, it's either rip the whole thing out or turn it into something else. So I decided to turn it into a kind of like button-down cape poncho. I used it in my vintage Historybounding winter cape lookbook. It's this navy blue cape, and it is cute. Like, it's definitely not perfect, but I really like it. I really like how the collar folds down. That was totally accidental. Like, I didn't even plan on there being a collar, but it's like my favorite part. And it's a little shorter in the front, a little longer in the back. I haven't had too many occasions to wear it, but I'm hoping to wear it more next like fall season, maybe even in the spring too. It kind of gave me World War II nurse vibes because I think they wore like navy blue capes. I mean, obviously they didn't really look like this, but you know, navy blue cape kind of gave me that historical vibe too. I really love that, and I wanted to make a matching hat. So I made this beret, this matching beret. You also saw it in that one lookbook. This took me forever. I made a beret once before, but it was kind of more like kind of slouchy, not as more of like a structured beret, but I wanted this one to be more structured. So, oh my goodness, I tore it out and started over so many times. This one I crocheted, the cape I knitted, and I'm not great at crocheting. Like, I can crochet, but not fantastic at it. But I finally got this one, and I'm pretty pleased with it. It's a little wide on my head. Kind of looks like it looks a little big, but I think it still works, and it looks really cute with the matching cape. Also in 2021, I discovered the wonderful world of Sontags. Sontags were kind of like, I like to describe them as a combination of a knitted vest and a knitted cape. And it kind of like wraps around you, and it's so cozy and so warm. And I think women wore them in like the mid 1800s. I've seen like photographs of women from like the 1860s wearing them, and oh my goodness. So I made this one. I just put it through the wash so it looks a little fuzzy, but yeah, it just sort of like crisscrosses in the front. It comes, you know, mid-arm down on you. It ties, oh, it's tied already. It ties in the front, then the wraps go around to the back and button. And yeah, it's just so warm and so cozy, and I love it. This I knitted, and then the edge I crocheted on, and then I also crocheted the ties, but I wish you could see it better, but it's just so warm and cozy, and I love wearing it. And so, because I loved this one so much, I made myself a second one, and I crocheted this. I put a little, whoops, I just dropped something. There we go. I made a little bit of a crocheted scalloped edge on it, and I put one button in the back instead of two because I didn't have two matching buttons, so I just made the little crisscrosses longer so that they could crisscross and then button around the one button in the back. And then of course there are the crocheted ties as well. Something else that women, I would see photographs of women wearing in the 1860s was a snood. And this is a little like hair net. You'd stuff all your hair in it. And so I made one to match my Sontag because I just thought that would be like so cute and so pretty for Historybounding the 1860s. And so I've worn these together so many times. I wore the set to work one time, and one of my little students, because one of the things I teach is a sewing elective, and one of my little students was like, oh, when are we going to make that? Like, she wanted to make the Sontag like really bad, and I was like, oh well, that's knitting, so we're not going to be making it because we're sewing. But yes, my students love seeing the different things I've made as well. Now we're to the last project, and oh, boy, was it a project. It is my 1890s bicycling sweater. I made it out of alpaca yarn that I had, and I made the giant puff sleeves that were common in the 1890s, and you know, the kind of dramatic silhouettes and the turtleneck. And this was kind of what women wore as athletic wear in the 1890s, which this thing is incredibly like hot. So I don't know how women wore it. Maybe it's just because it's made out of alpaca yarn, which is pretty warm because it's a natural fiber. But yes, I spent so many months working on this. It got to be so much work. I had to like take a break like in the middle of it, and I made like the snood and the Sontag. But then I picked it up again, and it came out so nicely. It is so warm. I love the look of it, and oh my goodness, yes, I had to start over this thing like several times. It took a lot, and it was a lot of work, but I am so happy with the finished product. Maybe I'll insert a picture of me wearing it because like it looks really good on too. But yes, other than that, I made some gifts for people, and so obviously I don't have those because they were gifts. I gave them to the people. I made some hand-sewn scrunchies, some crocheted scrunchies. I needed a little Afghan blanket for my godson. I embroidered a little decorative pillow for a friend of mine, but other than that, this is what I made, and I'm really happy with all the things that I made. I'm looking forward to doing some more crafting, sewing, and knitting in 2022. I've actually already started some projects, and I definitely want to do more sewing because I just love it. It's so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed everything that I made. Comment down below which was your favorite item that I made, and if you have any projects that you're working on, I would love to hear about them. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, hit the little bell notification, and comment if you'd like. Thanks, friends. Bye.